I did not choose to be an architect. I stumbled my way onto it. My father was an engineer and a naval architect. Mother is a sculptor. And and I grew up with the left brain and the right brain, completely opposite sides. I think this allowed me to, and I responded to both. So this profession allows me to bridge both.
I wanted to be an astronaut for the longest time.
Biology is not my term, so no, cannot be a doctor.
They usually had engineers or doctors, so architecture was not really an option.
I think I was actually all set to be a lawyer.
Then I realized I have an aptitude for it, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Ended up being an architect.
Ended up being a designer.
I grew up in a home where design was there because my dad's he's been teaching design, he's a designer. So yeah, breaking up things and putting them together was always a starting point.
It's a very special place. There's a certain energy to this place.
The way our work has been and the way we've grown up, I find myself at a position where I'm like an integrator.
The most interesting thing about the firm is that it's attempting to club two kinds of cultures. One is working in a studio atmosphere and yet being able to do larger projects.
I feel that the values which define us, which all of us worded together, are very close to defining what brings about that energy.
I think what's really different is we are very diverse in terms of how everybody is trained and worked as before. Like there are graphic designers, there are architects, there are interior designers, and that you can see in the work also.
So it's not about my own creation, it's not about my own design, but it's a collaboration and a co-creation of various aspects, and that's what I think I enjoy the most.
None of us really have cabins, and this is also a shared workspace, so when I'm not using it, other people come and use it for a meeting.
There's this one meeting room that we have. It's a little circular table room, and that's always been like my quiet space.
I think kitchen. The food is served. I think that's the moment that I sometimes look for when I'm hungry, doing work.
So the fact that it's got a lot of daylight, it's got this beautiful courtyard, it's in the heart of South Delhi, it's midway between Gurgaon, Noida, South Delhi, Central Delhi and the airport. And we've been here close to 7 years now.
Typical day of work.
It's a roller coaster.
I think we innovate a lot. Like design is a big part of our day. So it's just hours and hours of our time on sketch pads and SketchUp.
It's always very high adrenaline rushes and then periods of lull.
There are so many of them that I admire. Laurie Baker, Kenya Hara, Issey Miyake, Thomas Heatherwick. So all of their work is exceptional.
Mostly the site itself, and I would say Pinterest.
I love traveling. That's one of my favorite passions.
I'm working on a very small size residence, out of various projects. The best part about that project is how you, let's say, create space within really dense environment of Delhi.
It just happened by chance. So we got our first project and the client wanted to make out a check and we desperately needed a name, and I was taking a walk in Lodi Gardens with my mother-in-law and I said, I'm desperate, I need to find a name, and we were crossing a lotus pond and she said, just call it anything, call it Lotus. So we said, okay.